in the Yangste River Valley, China's modern-day Great Wall. It's a dam that will dwarf any other in the world. The size and scale are breathtaking. 7 years in, 10,000 workers will toil for another decade before the monumental Three Gorges scheme is complete. It needs to be big. It's designed to tame the Great Yangtze River, to prevent floods and power China's industrial heartland. And what's now emerging is that this epic project has brought epic corruption and mismanagement.
这好一点，但是呢，就是它太肥了，它太肥了，所有的人都会就像一块肉一样，所有的苍蝇都会去吃它。
Since the beginning of China's civilization, the Yangtze River has been the divide between North and South, the lifeblood of a nation. The river irrigates 1/3 of the nation's crops and carries 3/4 of its shipping. Its fertile banks are home to more than 200 million people. The Chinese government says that Three Gorges Dam will harness the river's power and change the course of history. But at what social cost? In Fengdu, a chairlift takes you up above the future waterline to a temple which pays homage to the god of the underworld. Locals call this the City of Ghosts. In ancient times, superstitious sailors refused to dock here for fear the ghosts would board ship and haunt the journey through the gorges. In a few years' time, life will imitate folklore, and Fengdu, like hundreds of other cities and towns along the river, will become a ghost town, drowned by the Three Gorges Reservoir. On the surface, life appears to go on as it always has. Street hawkers like Mrs. Zhao are seemingly oblivious to the inevitable. But in reality, there's a deep fear of the future.
是那个是居住问题，还希望你们呢哈，上回去上北京其他那些地方啊，你们如果在那些地方啊，可以给我们给我们那些市民来帮我们说一下，都那个情呐，要给我们多赔偿点嘛，能够做的不说好品嘛，能够做一团，能够不拿情，那个都算我们那些当百姓的都算满意的。
The people of Fengdu believe the relocation effort being engineered by the government will change their lives for the worse. Compensation for the past won't pay for their future.
他那个赔偿我们房子拿来买不到，我跟你说，做都没做成，地下室他们汤罐，全部移民搬迁下来，他们移民局的啊，新大老爷一下汤罐的，要求你们给我们升个运，
An hour's drive away and high above the watermark, the new city of Fengdu rises brick by brick. Oddly, there are no homes for the people yet. First served here, government corporations. Mr. Wu, the official in charge of foreign journalists, points out the significant landmarks. The Bank of China, local government offices, even the tobacco monopoly has been catered for. Money has moved in first.
印钞公司有钱，它是一个有钱的单位。我们丰都就是说对有钱的单位可以 到这边来，自己拿钱买土地新建房。
为什么是这样做？
要我有钱，我可以买土地，买了把房子建起来，卖给老百姓。
But ordinary people aren't getting their due. An accusation echoes throughout the Three Gorges area. Local officials are failing to pass on resettlement funds to residents. In many cases, officials have been removed from office or even jailed. According to Dai Qing, the only opponent of the dam who agreed to appear on camera, the entire project has been tarnished by corruption.
你可能看到的就是在水库地区的那些官员们，那么包括豆腐渣工程的官员和那些移民局的官员，他们通过这个工程，是他们得到钱，他们能够贪污，他们能够受贿的一个很好的手段。所以呢，这个工程受益的是从上到下的一连串的官员们，受害的是这条河流和环境，还有呢被迫迁移的上百万的移民。
Not surprisingly, the Three Gorges Corporation is keen to downplay the scale of the corruption.
那这大概还是一个很小的数。我们现在已经拨给水库的移民经费已经拨了140亿人民币，那么他贪污的这些都还是一个很小的数字。
But even the central government doesn't believe that. Just halfway through, the dam project has a $5 billion blowout. It's so cash-strapped, extra funds are needed. In an extraordinary twist, Beijing has sanctioned criticism of the project. It's not just social instability that's now a concern, but the possibility of an unstable dam. The Three Gorges Corporation says the dam is being built to the highest international safety standards. But in the wake of last year's devastating floods, safety checks revealed 1/3 of the country's 80,000 dams were so defective they were in danger of collapse. China's charismatic premier Zhu Rongji has even coined a phrase for it: bean curd or tofu construction. Work as flimsy as a serving of bean curd.
如果你交给这个好的工程队做，工程队就要用主要的钱来做这个工程，而没有钱送给你，送给这个官员本人，他就得不到钱。那么，如果你把这个工程给一个工程队不好的，他用一半的钱来做工程，另一半里的钱就可以给这个官员、主管官员。
长江江堤的重要险段，这里在去年洪水过后进行了固险。
Chinese television has been investigating how the government's money has been spent repairing unsafe dikes after last year's floods. A building contractor appointed to repair this levee had subcontracted the job, pocketing a proportion of the reconstruction funds. It was subcontracted yet again. More money creamed off for the officials. The journalist laughs in amazement at the sloppy work. This bank is supposed to be impregnable.
中国人经过多少年认真的思考以后，认为必须要建的一项工程。那么西方有很多，可以听到很多不同的声音，这个也没关系。世界上任何一个大型的工程都会有不同的声音，是吧？但是不能说那种腐败现象也好，质量低劣也好，就是无关紧要，绝对不是这个情况。那都必须严格的来处理，是吧？那么，但是你把它夸大成为一个整个移民工作都是腐败的，那也不是这个现实情况。
The leadership hopes by allowing the media to expose corruption during the building of the world's greatest dam, it will keep it on track and prevent future disaster. But the Three Gorges project isn't simply a concrete dam. it's hundreds of infrastructure projects, new roads and bridges. And fraud and ineptitude along the Yangste has already had devastating consequences. If you look carefully, you can see the remains of what used to be a concrete bridge. Last year, the bridge collapsed into a ravine. 11 people working on it fell to their deaths. 14 others were seriously hurt. Since then, Jiaojia Bay has only been accessible by boat. Officially, it's off limits to foreign journalists. The day the bridge collapsed, Feng Guozhen's family was shattered forever. Her brother died in the accident. A few months later, Mrs. Feng's mother also passed away. The family says she died from grief.
那心里还不是蛮崩溃了，眼睛就哭瞎的。然后生活是那个嘛，这儿子受完重伤嘛，他也不能说是养活我也不行嘛，他自己生活就不能过嘛，就没有种小钱买的，可以说这个零钱是没得。
Mrs. Feng's son broke his ankle in the fall. He says the reason for the mishap was well known to all the locals. The construction company knowingly used substandard building materials.
你比方说，他这个木材差，就比方那个，由于公司的资金呢也比较紧缺，但是民工的工资呢现在至今有蛮多都没弄到。你比方说我自己，我在这工作是14个月，1年2个月的时间，我只拿了1200多块钱，按照当时我定的是450块钱一月，那么实际上我只拿到1200块钱收入。
16 months after the accident, the bridge is a mass of steel and concrete. Surveyors sent by the central government say the land here is too steep. The bridge should never have been built in the first place.
这个桥也是209这个豆腐渣工程呢之一，一座桥呢，在前段这一直上行的也是有基本上所有的桥的全部是翻修。 重新扎到咱里间嘛，都不合适。
Corruption hasn't only consumed construction funds, it's eaten away all possible hope for some of China's poorest people. In the distance, the banner proudly proclaims constructing the new township of Gaoyang. Over the next few years, up to 10,000 people, most of them farmers or peasants as they're known in China, will be forced to move here. A farming community for as long as it can remember, many are being told to find factory jobs in the new city. They're united in anger against their local government, which they claim owes them hundreds of thousands of dollars in resettlement compensation.
移民现在这个搞起这个人，那个钱的话，从中央拨他那个多，我们现在下面只得到那个点儿，再也没得其他别的啥子，所以说我们这个失望啊，感觉得失望了。如果说再也不扭转这个事，那我们不晓得到个么子程度。
They've already angered local officials by taking their complaints to the municipal government and to Beijing. Now they say they have nothing else to lose.
是的，他欺骗老百姓，在上头，扶上头，压下头。
Excuse me?
Where's the actual dam going to be? In between the cranes?
Yeah, between the 4 high cranes.
That's the dam.
As the dam's completion draws closer, millions of tourists from all over the world come to witness the construction of a Chinese miracle.
After the form of the reservoir, this place will become a very beautiful scenery spot. Yeah. And all these small houses, all this mess will be moved away, clear up.
But how many more dark secrets lie obscured by the political imperative to succeed, and how many more people must suffer the consequences?